Hari Om, everybody. Welcome back. It's 10 o'clock. We will get started. Om. 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 त्वा गणपतिगुं हवामहे कविं कवीनामुपमश्रवस्तमम् ज्येष्ठराजं ब्रह्मणां ब्रह्मणस्पदान् शृण्वन्नोतिभिः सीदसादनम् प्रणो देवी सरस्वती वाजेभिर्वाजिनीवती धीनामविद्यवत् ॐ गणेशाय नमः ॐ सरस्वत्यै नमः ॐ श्रीगुरुभ्यो नमः शुक्लाम्बरधरं विष्णुं शशिवर्णं चतुर्भुजं प्रसन्नवदनं ध्यायेत् सर्वविघ्नोपशान्तये वागीशाद्या सुमनसः सर्वार्थानामुपक्रमे यं नत्वा कृतकृत्या स्युः तं नमामि गजाननम् वक्रतुण्डमहाकाय कोटिसूर्यसमप्रभ निर्विघ्नं कुरु मे देव सर्वकार्येषु सर्वदा सरस्वति नमस्तुभ्यं वरदे कामरूपिणी विद्यारम्भं करिष्यामि सिद्धिर्भवतु मे सदा ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम् ब्रह्माणि परमसुखदं केवलं ज्ञानमूर्तिं द्वन्द्वातीतं गगनसदृशं तत्त्वमस्यादिलक्ष्यम् एकं नित्यं विमलमचलम् सर्वधी साक्षिभूतं भावातीतं त्रिगुणरहितं सद्गुरुं तं नमामि श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादशङ्करं लोकशङ्करम् शङ्करं शङ्कराचार्यकेशवं बादरायणम् सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः ईश्वरो गुरुरात्मेति मूर्तिभेदविभागिने व्योमवत् व्याप्तदेहाय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णुः गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरुः साक्षात् परं ब्रह्म श्री गुरुवे नमः समस्तजनकल्याणे निरतं करुणामयं नमामि चिन्मयं देवं सद्ब्रह्मविद्वरम् यस्य सन्निधिमात्रेण सर्वे शिष्याश्च सेवकाः कर्मक्षेत्रे प्रवर्तन्ते चिन्मयं तं नमाम्यहम् चिन्मयं तं नमाम्यहम् चिन्मयं तं नमाम्यहम्. Let us do the Gita Dhyanam. Om Parthaya Pratibodhitam Bhagavata Narayane Swayam व्यासेन ग्रथिताम् पुराणमुनिना मध्ये महाभारतम् अद्वैतामृतवर्षिणीम् भगवतीम् अष्टादशाध्यायिनीम् अम्ब त्वाम् अनुसन्ददामि भगवद्गीते भवद्वेषिणीम् नमोऽस्तु ते व्यास विशालबुद्धे पुल्लारविन्दायतपत्रनेत्र येन त्वया भारततैलपूर्णः प्रज्वालितो ज्ञानमयप्रदीपः प्रपन्नपारिजाताय स्तोत्रवेत्रैकपाणये ज्ञानमुद्राय कृष्णाय गीतामृतदुहे नमः। सर्वोपनिषदो गावः दोग्धा गोपालनन्दनः पार्थो वत्सः सुधीर्भोक्ता दुग्धम् गीतामृतम् महत्। वसुदेवसुतम् देवम् कंसचाणूरमर्दनम् देवकी परमानन्दम् कृष्णम् वन्दे जगद्गुरुम्। भीष्मद्रोणतटा जयद्रथजला गान्धारनीलोत्पला शल्यग्राहवती कृपेण वहनी कर्णेन वेलाकुला अश्वत्थामविकर्णघोरमकरा दुर्योधनावर्तिनी सोत्तीर्णा खलु पाण्डवैरणनदी कैवर्तकः केशवः पाराशर्यवचः सरोजममलम् गीतार्थगन्धोत्कटम् नानाख्यानककेसरम् हरिकथा सम्बोधना बोधितम् लोके सज्जनषट्पदैरहर पेपीयमानम् मुदा भूयाद्भारतपङ्कजम् कलिमल प्रध्वंसिन श्रेयसे मूकम् करोति वाचालम् पङ्गुम् लङ्घयते गिरिम् यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे परमानन्दमाधवम्। यं ब्रह्मा वरुणेन्द्ररुद्रमरुतः स्तुन्वन्ति दिव्यैस्तवैः वेदैः साङ्गपदक्रमोपनिषदैः गायन्ति यं सामगाः ध्यानावस्थिततद्गतेन मनसा पश्यन्ति यं योगिनः यस्यान्तं न विदुः सुरगणाः देवाय तस्मै नमः देवाय तस्मै नमः। सर्वधर्मान् परित्यज्य मामेकं शरणं व्रज अहं त्वा सर्वपापेभ्यः मोक्षयिष्यामि मा शुचः। शान्ताकारं भुजगशयनं पद्मनाभं सुरेशं विश्वाधारं गगनसदृशं मेघवर्णं शुभांगं लक्ष्मीकान्तं कमलनयनं योगिहृद्ध्यानगम्यं वन्दे विष्णुं भवभयहरं सर्वलोकैकनाथम् नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमम् देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरये. Hari Om, everybody. Welcome back to our weekly Vedanta classes. Gita Bhāva Dhārā series that we have undertaken. So the key takeaway from the last 4 weeks is that we looked at there are many Gitas, but what we are studying is SRIMAD BHAGAVAD Gītā. We looked at the glory of SRIMAD BHAGAVAD Gītā as a Upanishad. We looked at it as a Yoga Shastra. We looked at Bhagavad Gītā as a Dharma Grantha, as a Pramana Grantha, as a Adhyatma Shastra, and a Bhautika Grantha. And we also looked at its place in the Prasthanatrayi. Then we analyzed the background of Mahabharata war and as an inner war within ourselves. We saw that when Bhagavan Sri Krishna parked the vehicle, parked Arjuna's chariot in between the two armies, the Pandava army and the Kaurava army, in front of Bhishmacharya and Dronacharya. At that critical moment, the very sight of the Kaurava army had triggered a massive psychological breakdown for Arjuna. We saw in the entire chapter 1 called Arjuna Vishada Yoga. Arjuna's nervousness, his neurotic condition, his anxiety, his moral confusion, his sense of deep sorrow. All of that had started to manifest physically. His limbs started trembling. His mouth had become dry. His head started spinning. And his Gandiva fell from his hand. We saw that in chapter 1 of Bhagavad Gītā, how Arjuna, a great warrior, he had become so sentimental and even superstitious. And he even started a discourse on Dharma to Bhagavan Sri Krishna. Basically, he told Krishna, this war, what is it good for? His anxiety had made him talk like a champion of peace and righteousness. And we know that Arjuna had come to fight on the side of Dharma. And we saw that he mistook his emotional discomfort to be Dharma. So Arjuna a great student of Dronacharya, a Maharatha, a great hero of many, many regional battles before this epic war, sits down in his chariot, drops his bow, refusing to fight. And here we noticed that Arjuna was defeated not by Bhishma, not by his arch rival Karna. He was defeated by his own mind, his own emotions. So the chapter 1, we noticed that it was not about the war. It was about the identity confusion of Arjuna. It is the collapse of his clarity as his judgment, his viveka, was overwhelmed by his emotions. And a profound thing was that Bhagavan Krishna was present the entire time, did not utter a single word, because truth always waits until the confusion surrenders. So in the entire first chapter, we saw that Arjuna was shown to be completely drowned in grief, shoka, caused by his attachment, raga, slowly leading to delusion, moha. And first we saw Bhagavan Krishna admonished him to start the second chapter in 2-2 and 2-3. 2-3 we will chant again. Klaibhyam masmagamah partha naitatvayyupapadyate shudram hridaya daurbalyam tyaktvottishta parantapa. Stinging words for a warrior. Klaibhyam masmagamah partha. This is unmanly behavior. Actually, Gurudev does not have very kind words in his commentary on this to Arjuna. This is unbecoming of a great warrior like you. Shudram hridaya daurbalyam tyaktvottishta parantapa. Uttishta. Get up and fight. And even these stinging words of Bhagavan Krishna fails to awaken Arjuna out of the stupidity. He continues his emotional lecture, emotional sermon on the evils of war. He is confused between his role and his personal relationship here. His reality on the battlefield. Because Arjuna saw Dronacharya as his teacher, Bhishmacharya as his grandfather. But in this Dharma Yuddha, they stood on the opposite side. They were the opposing warriors on the side of Adharma. So if you have missed any of these last 4 lectures, they are all posted on Chinmaya Ramanam. Please catch up. A lot of thoughts and ideas for reflection are presented. And by the way, you don't have to send me separate notes or a mail on that. You can present your thoughts right there and comments right there on the channel itself. I would appreciate that. So last week, we saw Arjuna's Sharanagati. We call it in Vedanta as Guru Upasakti. Karpanya doshopahata svabhavah. Karpanya doshopahata svabhavah. Pruchhami tvam dharma sammudha-chetah. Pruchhami tvam dharma sammudha-cetah. Yashveyasyan nishchitam brūhi tanme. Yashveyasyan nishchitam brūhi tanme. Chishyasteham Shadhi mam tvam prapannam. See, before this war began, Arjuna was well prepared. He went to the battlefield as a soldier to fight on the side of Dharma. He was very clear about his identity. He knew who was on the other side. He knew he had chosen to fight on the side of Dharma. At that critical moment, he got confused about his duty. Dharma sammudha-cetah. How can I fight my own grandfather, my own teacher? So this confusion turned into grief, shoka. Of course, it led to delusion, moha. It was coupled with fear, bhaya. We read that in 2-6. He expresses that, what if we lose the war? All these coupled with many other physical and emotional manifestations. Karpanya doshopahata svabhavah. Key thing, Arjuna here, he is admitting he has got a problem. Here we have to appreciate Arjuna's intellectual honesty. He admits my swabhava, my nature, my dharma is compromised. Here we can draw this famous parallel to Kathopanishad. Shreyascha preyascha manushyametah tau samparitya vivinatti dhirah Shreyo hi dhiro bhipreyaso vrunite Preyo mando yoga kshemad brunite. Preyo mando yoga kshemad brunite. See, this is a classic reference verse for Shreya Preya Viveka. In Kathopanishad, young boy Nachiketa stands before Yamacharya. He is the teacher in that. And he is rejecting the path of the pleasant that Yamacharya is offering him. The path of prayer. I don't want it. Shreyo hi dhiro bhi preyaso brunite. Preyo mando yoga kshemad brunite. He says the wise people always choose the path of Shreya, the absolute good. Only the deluded people choose Preya, the path of the pleasant. So here, Arjuna is telling Bhagavan Sri Krishna, Nischitam Bruhi, decisively tell me my Shreyas, my absolute good. Shishyasteyam Shadhimam Prapannam. I consider you as my guru. Take me as your disciple. Shishyasteham Shadhimam. Not the Hindi word Shadi. Shadimam means teach me. Prapannam. I take refuge in you. I surrender to you, Bhagavan. This is where SRIMAD BHAGAVAD GITA truly begins. This is the birth of Vedanta. Because again, we can draw this parallel to Kathopanishad 1.2.5. Avidyayamantare vartamanaha swayam dhiraha panditam manyamanaha dandram yamana paryanti mudhaha andhe naiva niyamana yathandhaha. Andhanaiva niyamana yatandaha. This is like blind leading the blind. So what happens here? Those who are dwelling in ignorance, they think themselves as wise. Swayam dhiraha. But Arjuna here does not pretend wisdom here. He confesses to Bhagavan about his confusion. This is intellectual honesty. Because a lot of us, we pretend. All through the life, either we are pretending to be happy or preparing to be happy. Think about that. But act of humility here from Arjuna, act of surrender is the turning point. This moment makes him teachable for Bhagavan. Very key. That quality of Arjuna, Arjavam it is called, Arjavam, that straightforward behavior. Kaya, Vacha, Manasa. Body from the speech and what is in your mind. At the body level, at the speech level, at the thought level. Alignment. That Arjavam. That is virtue. That's why Bhagavan Sri Krishna chooses Arjuna for Gita Upadesha. See, this aham is madhu. That aham bhava within us, that the one who destroys that aham bhava within us is Madhusudhana. That is Bhagavan Krishna, who destroys all our bondage. So Arjuna, in 18th chapter, 73rd verse, he says, Stitosmi gata sandeha karishye vachanam tava. I will do as you say, Bhagavan. I got my Atmaspriti. So here the teaching has begun. He starts to give him a lesson in grief management. So a lot of scholars of Bhagavad Gita think that this is the beginning shloka, as teachings begin here. (2-11) Shri Bhagavanubhacha Shri Bhagavanubhacha Ashocyananvashocastvam Pragnavadamscha bhashase Ashocyananvashocastvam Pragnavadamscha bhashase Gata sunscha Nanushocanti panditaha. One more time together. Shri Bhagavanubhacha Ashocyananvashocastvam Pragnavadamscha bhashase Gata sunscha Nanushocanti panditaha. Ashocyan anvashocastvam. You are grieving for those who should not be grieved for. Arjuna, you think you are wise, but you are otherwise. The wise never grieve the dead. This verse culminates in the one that we chant every single class, which is 18-66, where Bhagavan says, Sarva dharman parityajya mamekam sharanam vraja aham tva sarva papebhyah mokshayishyami ma shuchah. You give up all your dharma, you take refuge in me, I will grant you liberation. We chant this every class for that reason, because we are all mumukshus. So some Āchāryas analyze this and say, this is the Upakrama shloka, beginning shloka, and the Upasamhara is 1866 from a teaching standpoint. Prajna vadamscha bhashase. Bhagavan Krishna, he throws in this subtle irony in 2-11. Arjuna, you are speaking like a philosopher. If you recall, Arjuna spoke about Dharma. He spoke about evils of war. He spoke about the social collapse, what happens after war. He talked about sins. He talked about compassion. All that he talked about. Where? right in the smack middle of the battlefield after the first bullet has been fired. So here Bhagavan Krishna is exposing that the intellectual sophistication, pragnavada, words used by men of wisdom, that is not self-knowledge. See, grief, shoka, is a tamasic quality. It obstructs our right thinking, to do right action. Therefore, Bhagavan Krishna starts with the highest. He starts with Jnana, knowledge to start with. He's teaching him how to deal with this grief from a knowledge perspective. Who is grieving for who? That Atman, that Sat Chit Ananda Swarupa, that is my true nature. That is the real me. That is imperishable. That remains unchanged in all three periods of time, the past, the present, and the future. So, gata suna agata sunscha. Let me pull that slide up. 2-11. Second line. Gata suna gata sunscha. Nanu shochanti panditaha. So the wise grieve neither the living nor the dead. Why? The living body is already changing constantly. The dead body is another transformation. So he gives a series of, let's go through a series of verses, how he makes this argument. So the self or the Atman is untouched by both conditions, the living and the dead, of death of the body. That is what he is bringing in. And let's go to 2-13, where he makes that argument, reinforces a little more. Dehinosmin yatha dehe kaumaram yauvanam jara. Dehinosmin yata dehe kaumaram yauvanam jara tatha dehantara praptihi dhirastatra muhyati. Together. Dehinosmin yata dehe kaumaram yauvanam jara tatha dehantara praptihi dhirastatra na muhyati. It remains changeless in my child's body, kaumaram, yauvanam, jara. In my youthful body and in my adult body. It remains unchanging at the death of this body also. It is deathless in all bodies. That's why our Puja Gurudev used to jokingly say, everybody dies, but nobody dies. I hope you caught the play of words there. That is the key takeaway of 2-13. Now, if you look at it, Bhagavan Sri Krishna here has introduced 3 levels of distinction at the body level. At the body level, it is subject to change. We have seen that as a group, many texts we have seen how this body, Stula Sharira, goes through 6 levels of modification from womb to tomb. And then the mind is subject to emotions, agitations, and the self, the Atman, changeless witness principle, Sakshi Swarupa. A subtle point is often missed. Bhagavan Sri Krishna is not denying compassion that Arjuna was expressing all along for his elders and so on. He does not deny compassion. He denies delusion disguised as compassion. By giving Arjuna the knowledge or the Jnana perspective here. Jnana Drishti. So Arjuna's sorrow, we already saw that. It was mixed up with the ego identity. My teacher, my grandfather, my relatives, my kingdom, my, me and my. Translate it to ourselves. So first Bhagavan Krishna here is trying to establish that Atman, the self, has no relational dependency. Key point. Then he takes it further, builds that argument, and we'll look at some of the verses in the second chapter from that argument, from the Jnana Drishti. नासतो विद्यते भावः नाभावो विद्यते सतः नासतो विद्यते भावः नाभावो विद्यते सतः उभयोरपि दृष्टोऽन्तः त्वनयोस्तत्त्वदर्शिभिः. One more time together. Nasato vidyate bhavaha nabhavo vidyate sataha ubhayorapi drushtontaha tvanayostattvadarshibhihi. Here Bhagavan Krishna again is laying the groundwork for that Sat Vastu, that Atma Vastu, the indestructible principle. In line with the teachings of the Upaniṣads, he says the real never perishes and the real always exists. That is this Sat principle, Sat Vastu, that is constant, that which remains. Doesn't change in the past, current, and in the future. And it never becomes non-existence. Asat. That is what that shloka means. Nasato vidyate bhavaha na bhavo vidyate sataha. In line with Chandogya Upanishad beginning says Sadeva Saumya Idamagra Asit. Existence alone Sat alone was there in the beginning, meaning existence never becomes non-existence. And non-existence can never produce existence. That is the key takeaway of that. Then we'll cover one more in line with that. A few more we will cover actually. Antavanta ime deha nityasyoktah sharirinah. Antavanta ime deha nityasyoktah sharirinah. Anashino prameyasya tasmadyudyasva bharata. Deha, bodies, antavantaha. All bodies, they have a birthday, so they should have a end day. There is an adi and an anta. They are perishable. But the shariri, the indweller of this body, is nitya. He gives what? 3 Atma Lakshanas here in this verse. Anashino aprameya nitya. He is eternal. Anashinaha, indestructible. Aprameya, immeasurable. Meaning, we cannot know Atman as an object. See, in Vedanta, there are 3 means to acquire knowledge. Shruti Pramana, by scriptures. Scriptures tell me this is how Atman is, Satchit Ananda Swarupa. Then Pratyaksha Pramana, I perceive other things, objects through my senses. I derive knowledge, I study other things, and I derive knowledge through the teacher, etc. Then there is Anumana, by inference I draw. Like that we learn. And here Bhagavan Krishna is saying, self cannot be known like that. Then he continues to 2-19. Yayenam vetti hantaram yaschainam manyate hatam ubhau tau na vijanitaha nayam hantna hanyate. It cannot be killed as a subject. Na enam vetti hantaram. It cannot prompt killing because it is the sakshi, it is the witness principle, it is not the doer of action. See, action belongs to body-mind complex. The self or the Atman is akarta, non-doer. Then we have a direct quote. Bhagavan Sri Krishna, when he went to Sandipini, he studied Kathopanishad, so he took it directly and gave it to Arjuna. Na jayate mriyate va kadachit nayam bhutva bhavita vana bhuyah. Na jayate mriyate va kadachit nayam bhutva bhavita vana bhuyah. Ajo nitya शाश्वतोऽयं पुराणः Ajo nitya shashvatoyam purana na hanyate hanyamane sharire. This is perhaps the most quoted verse in Bhagavad Gita, outlining that Atma is indestructible. It cannot be destroyed by weapons. It cannot be blown away by air. It cannot be burnt by fire. It cannot be wetted by water. So what is Bhagavan Krishna is doing here is he is negating every possible modification. Not born. It is not born. It does not die. It does not come into being. It does not cease to be. What does it do? It eliminates all of the Shadvikaras of the body. Body undergoes through 6 modifications. But it is born, it exists, it grows, it transforms, it decays. Finally, body dies and goes back into the elements. Here he is describing Atma as Ajo Nitya Shashvatoyam Puranaha. Ajaha, unborn. See, birth implies what? Birth implies that coming into existence. But existence cannot be born. If something is born, it has to be previously non-existent. Think. So the self is pure being, that Satvastu. That is why Chandogya Upanishad says, Sat alone was there. Then he says, Purana, ancient yet ever new. That's why Purana does not mean something old. It means that which exists before all of the time. It remains fresh. Time ages objects. And self is the witness of that time as well. Kala Atita. When you think like this, what does it do? It brings in Abhayatva. It brings that fearlessness, ultimate fearlessness. Because death is the deepest human fear. It is that ultimate fear every one of us have. So here Bhagavan Krishna is inculcating that fearlessness. If you are unborn, what exactly are you afraid of? Then he gives one more, we will go through in the same argument. Nainam chindanti shastrani, nainam dahati pavakah, na chainam kledayantyapah, na shoshayati marutah. All the 4 elements listed here. Nainam chindanti shastrani, weapons. The self is indestructible by weapons. It cannot be destroyed by man-made weapons or natural forces. Meaning, the bigger picture here is the subtle or the cause cannot be destroyed by the gross or its effects. Nainam dahati pavakah. It cannot be burnt by fire. It cannot be wetted by water, blasted by weapons. It cannot be dried by air. All of these are representing material forces. So Bhagavan Krishna here is indicating that self is beyond this material causation. So in summary, from the highest knowledge perspective, from the Jnana Drishti, the body perishes, the self does not. Self is neither the doer nor the experiencer of killing. Akarta, abhokta, ajaha, unborn, avinashi, undying, changeless. Meaning, the true self is beyond the physical forces. So, first Bhagavan Krishna is teaching Arjuna the changeless principle, that substratum, that witness principle from that Jnana Drishti. So Bhagavan Krishna here is not merely teaching Arjuna the Atma Swarupa, he is dismantling his body identification, Dehatma Bhava, his doership, his kartrutva, and he is inculcating his abhayatva, fear of mortality, fear of death, eliminating that. So the idea from that vision of pure awareness, since the real never perishes, who am I grieving for? From an absolute standpoint, if I am Ananda Swarupa, how can I grieve Ananda? Absolute happiness. Okay, Arjuna, then even if you consider yourself to be a jiva, Bhagavan Krishna says, next, there is no need to grieve. This jiva keeps on changing bodies like we change our clothing. So the shloka we are going to chant next week provides that basis for rebirth in our scripture, Punarjanma. So the key takeaway from today and some of the foundational reflection points for all of us: do I grieve because of events in my life? Do I grieve because of mistaken identity? When do we fear? I feel sorrowful. The self within me, does it ever feel diminished by my loss or fear or my delusion? My child body is gone, long gone. My youth body is long gone. Yet I remain. What exactly is that which continues through these bodily changes? So Krishna here, Bhagavan Krishna is not solving Arjuna's mental problem. He dissolves the one who has got the problem. Grief belongs to this misidentification. Fear belongs to the one which is perishable. Doership belongs to the one who is ignorant. So the self is unborn, undying, untouched, and it stands free. Nitya Shuddha Buddha Mukta Atma. Our bodies change, our thoughts change, moment to moment. Our emotions change. I am happy one moment, I am sad another moment. Our roles change. I was a happy child, I'm a son of so and so. I became a husband or a wife. I became a father, mother, grandmother, etc., etc. Roles change. But by which all these roles are known, does it change? These are some of the reflection points. We'll stop here. We will do some namasmaranam and then we will continue. Achyutam Keshavam Ramanarayanam Krishna Damodaram Vasudevam Harim Sridharam Madhavam Gopika Vallabham Janaki Nayakam Ramachandram Bhaje. Fourth one, Krishna Govinda He Ramanarayana Shripate Vasudeva Jita Srinidhe Achyutananta He Madhava Dhokshaja Dwaraka Nayaka Draupadi Rakshaka. Om Sarve Bhavantu Sukhinah Sarve Santu Niramayah Sarve Bhadrani Pashyantu Ma Kaschid Dukkha Bhag Bhave. Om Asatoma Sadgamaya Tamasoma Jyotirgamaya Mrutyorma Amrutam Gamaya. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnaat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om Tat Sat. May all be happy. May all be healthy. May all see auspiciousness. May none suffer. Om peace, peace, peace. With that, I'll open it up for our interactive session. Please feel free to stay back if your schedule permits. Look forward to hearing your thoughts and comments.